the sword. There we go. I'm Dan Knights. I'm the CEO and Chief Data Scientist at Biome. And we were here at the first Walleye tank. Our team won that competition. And I'm just going to give you a few minutes of update on sort of, first, what is the company, so you understand the background, and then what has been happening over the last eight or 9 months or so. We are a service company that uses genomics and machine learning to help big pharma and big ag companies study the microbiome. So if you haven't heard of the microbiome, this is a picture of a human microbiome. So this is the collection of microbes that live inside your gut. It's not actually quite so beautiful inside there. But what we've learned through genomics over the last decade is that it's incredibly complex, hundreds of different species. And if you have a shift in the community, it's linked to virtually every major chronic human disease. So now everybody wants to know more. You've probably seen this in all the popular press. Virtually every major pharma and ag company is putting tens or hundreds of millions of dollars into trying to discover the next microbiome breakthrough. And there's been over $1 billion of venture capital put into microbiome startups over the last 3 years. So it's a very active field. The problem that we're solving is that actually analyzing microbiomes is really hard to do right. So for example, you could have a drug company designed to study on obesity. They would collect, say, 1,000 samples, and then if they actually want to measure the microbes and figure out which ones matter, they have to do all of these different steps. And if they make any mistakes, then what they get out the other end is garbage. And they also have trouble interpreting the raw data. It's just these massive files of DNA sequences. So what we do is we provide a full solution for the entire process with expertise in quality control, starting at the genomics, even back to the sample collection, and all the way through producing a sophisticated report. So they basically remove that uncertainty for them and give them the insights and help them get to those faster. This is the team. Kenny Beckman's the Chief Operations Officer. Darryl Gold's the Chief Science Officer. I'm the CEO and Chief Data Scientist. And this is us winning the Walleye tank in June. And so we're very excited. We're just moving into a new lab now, so we're very excited to hang the Walleye up in our lab. We've come a long way since then. Back then, we were micrometer genomics, and too many people were calling us a micrometer, which just didn't have a nice ring to it. So we updated, changed our name to Biome, which really explains what we do. We help companies discover what is the core microbiome in their application. And then here's what we've been up to. So in June, we had the Walleye tank participation. We incorporated in July, so we've really only been around since then. In October, we were accepted into this competitive accelerator program, G-Beta. It's an offshoot from Generator, which is housed in Wisconsin. And that was certainly helpful in many ways in actually accelerating our progress. In November, we got our first 50K of committed orders and our first investor. So these were verbal commitments of orders from big companies. In January, we got another 50K, so up to 100K in total orders. Second investor agreed to join the round. That we were raising in February. February is when we actually got our first samples in-house. And we turned those around, processed them, and had on-time delivery. So we were very excited about that. In March is when we actually received our first payment. So that's how long it took to go from a committed order to actually getting money in the door. But that's largely because it was the first order from these big pharma companies. There are a lot of legal hurdles for that first order. So the repeat business is starting to come in much faster. We now have 200K of total orders had in March. At this point, in April, we're now oversubscribed in our funding round. We have 2,000 samples either processed or in-house. We just signed a lease, and we're in the process of negotiating over $2 million in orders with several major companies, including some Fortune 500s. And I put on here last night acquisition interest. We actually just got an offer for acquisition this afternoon. So, not saying we're going to take it, but we're turning out to be well ahead of schedule on the projections for where we're expected to be at this point. And although it's been a lot of fun, it's starting to feel a little bit like this. You know, it's this rocket ship that's taking off and we're kind of holding on for dear life. So, that's been the process since the Walleye tank. It was really a nice, I can remember, my co-founders are here, I can remember that day. We walked out of there just thinking this is going to work. So it really gave us a nice early boost. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Couple questions?
Where'd you sign that lease?
University Enterprise.
Yeah. We're excited to have you guys.
We're excited to be there. Other questions? Yes.
So you do your sample processing at UEL, and then for the actual sequence analysis, where's the equipment for that?
All of the processing and sequencing will be done independently at the UEL. All of the bioinformatics analysis is in the cloud. For a period of time, we can also outsource sequencing to the University of Minnesota at external rates. Yes?
What IP is your business dependent on?
So we have several forms of IP. I mean, there's a patent on molecular methods for controlling quality of all of these steps in the process. There's also our know-how, and which collectively is a crucial part of the value of the company. And then we have an exclusive license to software, commercial license to software that's been developed in my research lab. Yes?
So are you guys exclusively for the microbiome in the human body, or would you guys be able to handle like soil?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, we're actually doing, we're fairly agnostic to the type of microbiome, and we have several different services that we can run depending on the type. So we're doing human, we're doing agricultural, animals, we're doing plants, soil. Yes?
Yeah, what's been the biggest question you've received from pharma in your early pitches before they said, okay, we'll pay you to do this work?
It's really how soon can we start? There's a gap in the market right now. There's really no one out there just doing a good job. I mean, we're turning things around up to 10 times faster than other companies. We have all the expertise at every point of the process. So, that's kind of a cop-out, but they really have been extremely enthusiastic. I'd say one of the things that they often want to understand is how much we can actually help them with their entire discovery process. They want help with study design, sample collection, all the genomics, all the informatics, and then even some of the interpretation on the other end.
All right, we better keep moving on.
Thank you.